All right, hi there everyone. We are going to go ahead and get started in our webinar today. First, want to just thank everyone for joining us today, and we are excited to have you here. I hope that you are all doing well, and I will introduce myself. My name is Kelly Gratner, and I work for RollMaster Software. Hey, so today we just want to really invite everybody here to learn more about working from home. And a little background on RollMaster itself. So our company, we are a flooring software solution. We provide specialized software for residential, commercial, property management, builder, and wholesale clients, just to name a few. And so in terms of working from home, however, some of you might have an idea of what working from home entails. However, with RollMaster, our personnel has been working from home consistently since 2005. And here we are 15 years later. We all work remotely throughout the United States, and we are quite successful in our remote capabilities. So when it comes to you and working from home, maybe you've done it before and maybe you know what to expect. Others may never have worked from home a day in their life, and so working remotely, especially full-time, can really pose some new challenges for people. So today we are here to try and give you some best tips, tricks, and practices on being successful in working from home. The first thing that we're going to kind of cover today is a little bit of different tech, some tech resources that will help you stay in touch with your coworkers and staff while you are working from home. We're also going to go over some various screen share and video conference utilities, which we actually use here at RollMaster Software. We're going to go over the use of Google Drive as well as Dropbox. We're not going to go too heavily into some of these areas, but we just want to touch on them so that everyone kind of knows what to expect and what's out there. Also want to go over some helpful recording software that we utilize here at RollMaster that may help you as a company, and just a couple other things like some ideas for downtime when you're working from home, and just some overall hopefully helpful tips and tricks. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. One of the first things that we're going to go over today in this webinar are some of the different resources for team meeting and video calls. Now, many of you in working with RollMaster, you may have had a screen share with one of our support representatives before, or maybe you've had a training session with one of our great staff. So the way that we usually carry out these types of screen shares or video calls, we currently use a resource called Ring Central. Ring Central is very popular right now. And as far as using Ring Central for meetings, I should mention that this is an IP phone system platform. However, they do offer their meetings platform for free. As you can see right here, I am on their website. And again, right now you can download Ring Central Meetings for free. Now, just keep in mind that meetings will be limited to about 30 minutes while using the free edition. So if you need something that's more robust than that, they do offer plans and pricing, which will give you more than just the free edition. And as you can see, they have a few different tiers and levels of pricing. But just keep in mind, this is actually what we use here at RollMaster for our webinars, for a lot of our meetings. And Ring Central comes highly recommended. It's a really great product. And some of you may have heard of Zoom meetings, and just to let you know that actually Ring Central is actually Zoom private labeled. So they are kind of one and the same, although Ring Central is just a little bit more customized. You can see some of that pricing here, but just please keep in mind that they do have a free option that you can download. So we want to make sure and point that out. Another outlet that you can try for instant video calls and or meetings is Zoho Meetings. Now, Zoho Meetings is also used by RollMaster Support. We choose those for the instant meetings when perhaps you might be conversing with a support staff member and there might be a need to do a real quick meeting. One of our support staff can open up a meeting right then and there using Zoho Meetings. Another type of meeting that we've used in the past is called Zoom meetings. So some of you may be familiar with Zoom. Now with Zoom, going to their website, it's pretty easy to see that they have quite a offering in terms of the products and the types of meetings, video webinars and conferences and whatnot that they offer. So it's, again, this is a whole suite of products. Many of you may have used Zoom meetings in the past. So they offer a phone system, they have business instant messaging, and again, but the meetings, I believe, is what they are most known for. They have great reviews, and it's pretty easy to get information about Zoom. If you just go to their website, you can just plug in your email and go ahead and get some information from them for free. GoToMeeting is also a very popular one that we have used here in the past. GoToMeeting offers similar features to Zoho meetings as well as Zoom and RingCentral, in that they do offer screen sharing, conference calling, video conferencing, and a whole plethora of features, as you can see right here on their website. If you just look under features, it'll kind of show you everything that they have to offer. Their plans and pricing are pretty affordable as well. You can choose from different online meeting plans, and these all are just a little bit different. But as you can see, there's a lot of different features that come with the different types of plans. So want to make sure that you all know where to find GoToMeeting. You can just go ahead and go to their website. And again, all of the links and information that I'm presenting today will be sent to everybody just as soon as this webinar is over. And these are all really very similar, where you can share screens. A support person could actually take remote control of the customer's screen and what have you. It's just these are really great utilities to be able to work remotely, but at the same time, you can actually see who you're talking to and collaborate, share documents, share ideas, and what have you. Join.me is another great utility to use for video calls and for team meetings. And with this one, join.me, this is another great site that's going to give you a free trial. You can go ahead and try out your hand at hosting a meeting just by clicking over here to get started, or you can join a meeting very easily using the same method by simply clicking on a button on their website. And join.me, this is something, again, that we have used here at RollMaster. It's pretty simple to use. And they do offer services for individuals, teams, and businesses. So join.me, another great resource for you. Another popular one that seems to kind of have grown in popularity is Google Hangouts. I know this is pretty popular with a lot of schools and teachers lately. So here, we'll take a quick look at Google Hangouts, and I think, in my opinion, one of the best things about Google Hangouts is it's really easy to get in touch with any of your contacts, which may already be existing in your Gmail. So as you can see here on the Google Hangout screen, you can do a video call, a phone call, or an instant message, and it's very user-friendly. And I would definitely recommend Google Hangouts to anyone who is already actively using Google Suite and Gmail, and definitely check this out if you're looking for a video conference or a video call resource. Microsoft Teams is another video call resource, team meeting forum. And one of the cool things about Microsoft Teams is it can be installed on pretty much any device. And you can go ahead and download it right here from their website. And this is really designed for those working in a Microsoft environment. So you can, of course, have it on your desktop, or like I said, they do have the mobile app. So this is a popular one. There's also WebEx meetings. That is one that I personally have never tried, but is certainly available and has decent reviews. And so WebEx is a Cisco product. They do very similar items to some of the other forums we just looked at, in that they have video conferencing, team collaborations. They have a download where you can go ahead and do the app. You can do webinars, and they have a lot of different plans that you can choose from, pretty affordable. And like I said, I did read a lot of great reviews about WebEx, so this is another great resource for you if you happen to be in the market for something like this. There's a last one called Intermedia AnyMeeting, which again, I haven't used, but I have found some great things about this meeting forum online. And so taking a quick look at their website, it appears that they do have video conferencing free until 2021. So for more information on this service and exactly what they're offering, I would suggest going to their website. They do definitely offer video conferencing, and have heard some good reviews about this, so feel free to check that out. And last but not least, most of us are familiar with Skype. Skype has been a long time player in the world of video calls and video conferencing. So Skype, again, this is another Microsoft product and pretty easy to use, easy to download. You can just go to their website right here. Again, these links will all be provided to you. Many of you have probably used Skype at some point or another, but one great thing about Skype is you can have it for desktop, mobile, tablet, even Xbox and Alexa. So that's pretty much the final one that we have to report on for video conferencing tools. The next thing that we are going to take a look at today are messaging and team chat resources. So with messaging and team chat, this is something that maybe all of you have not used in the past. However, it's definitely growing in popularity, especially with a lot of companies who are now having employees work from home in this day and age. It's really helpful to be able to have that instant chat capability and to be able to chat with your team. So these are tried and tested options that we here at RollMaster have used both currently as well as in the past. So the first one that we'll take a look at is Zoho Click. And I can show real quick. Here's a real quick kind of just a glimpse at what Click looks like. Now, Click is part of the Zoho suite of products. And so the way that Click works is you see you'd have all of your contacts listed on the left. And this would essentially be like everybody at your company or your team. It could even be broken down as far as into like a department. But essentially you'd have all your contacts here on the left. You can easily pin chats and conversations right here, and anything that you have pinned will show up underneath the My Pins area. At the same time, you can also break everything down further into conversations. Conversations is kind of like a way you can think of it as categorizing specific types of dialogue that you want to have, easily accessible. There's also several different channels. Moving down here, we have channels where you can certainly break everything down even further. It's easy to create a channel. You just hit the plus button, and here you have the opportunity to create a new channel within chat. There's just a lot of different ways to categorize, your contacts as well as your chat correspondence with other employees. One of the great things about working remotely and being able to stay in constant contact with some of your colleagues and associates is you're really here at your fingertips. Most of the new popular chat forums do have apps as well. So, if you're on your go, you can have your smartphone. You can certainly keep up with your chats that way as well. So looking here, I have 3 different chat windows open with 3 different people. And it's just really easy to, to kind of keep in touch with your staff, with your colleagues, and it's really a great way for people who work remotely to easily stay in touch. There's some great alerts. You can even mute channels if you need to mute a channel for any reason. You can definitely customize all of the alerts, whether you want sound to pop up every time you get a message or not. So this is just kind of a quick look at what our Zoho Click looks like. Going back to a few more resources for chat, there's also Slack. And Slack is really popular for those working from home. It's highly recommended for a remote work environment. And right now you can actually try Slack for free if you are a small business. So if you go on to their website, you can check out pricing, and like it shows right here for small teams trying out Slack. For an unlimited period of time, it's free to get started. And the plans kind of go up from there. Very reasonable pricing when it comes to Slack and what they offer, but they definitely are a great choice for instant messaging and for inter-business chat services. I should also note that both Slack and Click have the capability to share files. So if you need to share a quick Excel spreadsheet or a document with someone, you can easily do that over the chat forum. Another one is Glip by RingCentral. And so if you head to their website for Glip, you will see that they also are offering a free startup trial for an unlimited amount of time. You can get Glip absolutely free. They have quite a few offerings. They've got unlimited chat, unlimited storage, and a few other things. And This is really great for those who want free chat. They've got screen share, and look at all of these types of features that Glip offers. And again, they are owned by RingCentral. So this is another good one to think about and to try. Maybe check out their website and do a little bit of your own research and see if this is one that might work for you. Google Hangouts also, I know we just mentioned Google Hangouts in the last slide, but Google Hangouts also does have a instant chat and instant messaging capability, which we just used here at my home actually a couple days ago. A couple others that I've never personally used, Microsoft Teams, Twist, and Flock. So these are just a few that I kind of did a little bit of research on, and I felt comfortable sharing all these with everyone today. So this is just something that you'd want to keep in mind in the event that your company did decide to implement some type of chat or instant messaging. These are some really, really great resources and great ideas. Next, we're going to kind of head into just some work from home setup basics. Now, in terms of working from home, again, I know that not everybody here is totally used to working from home, and that's the point of this webinar today, is to kind of give you some insight. So a few things just to consider implementing first into a daily routine. Now, with respect to working from home, it's very important that you maintain a routine that you normally would when if you were going into the office. So with that being said, you want to get up at a set time as you normally would, eat breakfast, work out if that's something you do, shower and dress as normal. You're going to want to plan to sit at your desk in your home office at the same time that you normally would if you were to go into the office. So in working from home, it can be really tempting to work in your pajamas. And I will completely say that. I've been guilty of it myself. But as someone who's worked from home for over 3 years, I really won't discourage or encourage it simply because it's just not for everyone. I mean, of course, you want to be comfortable and just make sure that it's something that you can get your work done in, but certainly do get dressed when you work from home. Another item that I kind of want to just throw out there is don't be tempted to go and start work earlier than normal just because you can and just because you now don't have a commute time. This is important that you still maintain a schedule and that you still maintain your work-life balance. It's very important, especially for all of us, but for those of us with family and kids as well. You really need to think of your home office as the same as your work office if you can. And conversely, don't stay later when you're working at home just because you don't have that commute home or just because it's easier to stay online because it's right there and it's because it's accessible. I really can't stress this one enough, especially to those of you who may be new at working from home. Try to stick to normal hours. There may be times that you stray from this rule. For example, if you're meeting with someone who is in a different time zone than you, or certain roles that do require work be done during off hours, but just keep in mind that these one-offs should be the exception and not the norm. Couple more pieces of advice. You want to open up chats with your colleagues and associates and keep those chats open. So in the office, on a typical day, you would normally be chatting or seeking out advice from other people in your office. You'd be exchanging information and ideas. Now that shouldn't change. Just because you're working from home, really the only thing that changes now is how you do it. And so taking a look at some of those chat options that I just recommended may help you. You want to definitely refer to those chat resources. And I really want to stress the importance of keeping in touch with your coworkers. It's very important. Hey, better yet, you can just pick up the phone and call them or have a screen share meeting, collaborate, view documents as needed, do that all together. I mean, most times your work people are going to want to see your face. So it can definitely make communication more interesting and relevant also to have a screen share and just kind of see what that other person's doing and what they're talking about. Another tip is to make sure to give yourself breaks as you normally would. Get up from your desk. Go walk around, get a snack. These are things that you would do at the office, so you should really make sure to do them at home. Now, there might be a tendency for some to worry about missing that chat or that important email. Some people might be worried that people might not think you're working if you're not available all the time. Don't worry. It's totally okay. We're all dealing with the same thing when we're working from home. So you want to make sure to also incorporate a solid lunch break into your day. This might be silly that I'm saying that, but it's very true and it's important. This doesn't need to involve necessarily going out to eat at a restaurant every day, but just make sure that you get up, walk away from your computer, shut the home office door if you need to, close your laptop, whatever it may be, to give yourself that break. It's very important. Make a cup of coffee, just whatever your thing is. Another tip that I have is to make sure you get out of the house. Your routine says essentially if you're still working in an office or at a store, you go to work, you come home, you eat dinner, and then you kind of deal with the family or the house. You will be surprised at how quickly that you might realize you haven't left the house for days. When you're working from home, it's so important to try to get out of the house. Maybe just going for a walk on your lunch break, take the dogs outside, do something, just don't stay cooped up in the house. Working from home really has as many perks as you could think of, but it also can have downsides. And one of the downsides and the biggest, cons in my point of view is that feeling of getting cooped up. So getting out of the house will combat that. There are some work from home basics that I think everybody should kind of keep in mind during this time when many people may be working from home. So some of the essential items in a work from home setting to have in your home office space. These are just basics. One of those things would be obviously a desktop, a laptop, or a notebook computer with an updated antivirus program. Very important to have that protection on your computer with the updated antivirus. You want internet access, of course. You're going to want a dedicated phone line, like a cell phone, even a landline, or a VoIP phone, which is basically voice over IP, which that turns a standard internet connection into a way to place your phone calls. And that's actually what we use here at RollMaster. But just as long as you have access to some type of phone line, that's obviously a basic. You're going to want the required computer programs that are needed to do your job. So luckily for our RollMaster users, it's very easy to download RollMaster on a home computer, on a laptop, because we're cloud-based. So you want to make sure that whether you're working for RollMaster or for any other company, that you have all of the required programs that you need in order to fulfill the functions of your job. Another basic that I would recommend is a webcam for any virtual meetings. And then, of course, something that goes without being said, but things like paper, pens, highlighters, and whatnot. Just the basics to make sure you're all prepared to work from home. A few more things that we can touch on these are some more optional items. So optional items when you're working from home would be a desk, a keyboard and a mouse. Of course, most laptops come with a keyboard and mouse, but it never hurts to have an extra one. I prefer ergonomic, but everyone does their own thing. A printer. Now, one thing we can say is it's always great, obviously, to also print to PDF. We have through RollMaster Start the RM PDF add-on, which is free for any RollMaster users to download, so that's a great resource. Also, additionally, there's PDF Redirect. PDF Redirect is another great tool that will allow you to print documents to PDF. And I can show you really quick what that looks like. So PDF Redirect, if you go on their website, which is exp-systems.com, you're going to want the first option, which is this bright green banner up at the top. It's free. PDF Redirect works very, very well. So going back here to some of the optional work from home aspects, you're going to want a scanner if possible. And if you don't have a scanner, you can actually scan notes. Pardon me. You can scan notes to PDF from an iPhone, and I'll show you real quick how to do that. At the same time, there's a couple apps that you can use for phone scanning. And one of these apps being Tiny Scanner, which is a PDF scanner app, and it's available for mobile devices. And the link for this is in the document and the slides. Another app that we can recommend is called Cam Scanner. This is also a mobile scanner. It's easy to utilize to scan and share. As well, there's an app for Cam Scanner, and you can use it on Android, iPhone, or an iPad. So these are just a couple of recommendations we can show you. But if you have a scanner like a flatbed scanner or a feeder that you can actually scan documents within, even better. You may want a monitor to create dual screens. Again, these are not requirements, but just options. Something like a small wastebasket so that as you're going throughout your day, you're not accumulating a bunch of stuff on your desk. So especially this is important if you're in a separate room or workspace area. And organizational tools such as a paper tray, filing cabinet, bins, baskets for office supplies and what have you. These are just some recommended work from home setup options that I, as someone who's been working from home for a long time, can recommend. Now, speaking of scanning, this is a really cool trick that I actually learned just today, and I thought I wanted to share it with some of you. For those of you who have iPhones, you can go ahead and open up the Notes feature on your phone. So you go into Notes, and you're going to go as if you're going to compose a new note. From there, you can choose the option to scan documents as seen right here. And when you actually go to scan those documents, it's going to open up your camera, but you're going to hold the phone over the document and you're going to actually snap a picture. But the cool thing about this is that it'll actually save that scanned document as a PDF to a section called Scan Documents in your phone. And it just serves as a really great way to easily email that document. And I can show you a real quick preview of what it looks like. So this is just a test of something I did earlier. And as you see, this was actually a picture I took with my iPhone. And I went ahead and really easily scanned it in with that feature in the iPhone. So I just thought that was kind of cool and wanted to show some of you because I actually didn't even know about that until today. Moving on, I have a couple of recommendations for workspaces when you're working from home. So when you're working from home, whether you're working in RollMaster or any other program, you really are going to want to make sure to carve out a space to dedicate for your work. This is very important. If you can, again, get a desk set up. Now, I understand not everyone has a desk lying around their home, or maybe they don't have that type of preferred desk area. So if a desk setup is not possible, something like even a table, even a folding table, counter space, even your kitchen table, these will all work as a temporary space to sit down and work at. And I can't tell you how important it is to have that dedicated workspace. You really want to use your dedicated workspace versus sitting on the couch, laying on the couch, or even laying in bed working. For those of you who have never worked from home, it can be tempting to want to kind of just chill in your bed, lay in bed on your laptop. I really, really highly recommend getting that dedicated workspace and somewhere where you can sit down, sit up in your normal way that you would if you were at the office or at the store. Another recommendation I have, this is just me personally, to sit near a window to have a view outdoors. It really helps, in my opinion, it helps you to connect on what's going on in the outside world and kind of have a view looking outside. Another recommendation is to use ample lighting, such as things like an overhead light, a room lamp, or even a desk light. All of these things are very important when you are working from home. I have a few organizational tips for you. In terms of just trying to organize your thoughts, your mind, your work, your desk space, and everything. For those of you who are not used to working from home, these may help you. So, working from home organization. Use a reminder feature in your calendar, or there's many different apps that you can also utilize when working from home. Things like setting an alarm on your phone. Categorize your office documents in binders. You really might think about purging any unneeded paper to eliminate piles in your workspace. It's very easy to develop these little piles of papers, folders, documents, and what have you. So go ahead and purge that as much as you can to kind of have a clear workspace. One thing that I typically do, I like to write lists of things that I need to do. And as I knock out each item, I just draw lines through my list, but everyone's different. That's just something I do. One interesting tip is to create a printing station off of your desk. So some people might have small desks, some people have larger desks. Either way, it's kind of nice to have the printer like off of your desk. So that's just one tip I have. You can, if you have a wireless printer, you could even put it in a completely different area of the room, but it's just a recommendation. Another organizational tip is to store your office supplies in bins or baskets off of your desk, so that really all you need to look at on your desk is maybe your keyboard, your monitors, and what you might be working on that day. Try to keep your desk uncluttered if possible. Use a label maker if you have one handy. Always make sure to utilize shared calendars if your company does follow that practice. Make sure to let your related staff and or management know if you're going to be away from your desk for an extended period of time. Just common courtesy, but something that will also help you stay organized and kind of keep tabs on what's going on through your workday with your colleagues and staff. Last, make sure to stick to your company's usual and customary policies, just as you would if you were in the office or the store. Now, as far as downtime when working from home, there's various methods for handling downtime, but these will vary company by company. And it's my suggestion to use any downtime wisely and really do try to find something that would be productive, but that will still keep you busy. And another tip is Udemy, which offers online courses in a wide variety of topics. This is something great to check out. And last, you can always check with your company or your manager for any special projects or direction in which you can work on. Looking over, I had a couple of things open that I wanted to show everyone real quickly. So in terms of sharing documents, it's very important to make sure that anytime you work from home, you have access to all of the documents that you will need to carry out your job duties. So we, at RollMaster, we use something called Zoho One. Zoho One is, it's a full suite of all types of different apps and business utilities. So we use something called WorkDrive with here at RollMaster. WorkDrive is very similar to Google Drive. And you just want to make sure that anytime you're going to be working from home that you have everything set up that you need in terms of access. You don't want to get home and end up finding out that you don't have access to some of those drives if they're essential to your job. So make sure that before you start working from home, you have access to those drives. Google Drive, taking a look over here, this is just a quick preview. Most people are familiar with Google Drive, but if not, this is sort of what it looks like. And it's just a really great way to share documents with others, to kind of enhance your team collaboration. And this is basically one of the very, very popular ways and methods of sharing documents nowadays. Dropbox. Dropbox is also a very, very popular utility. Now with Dropbox, you have the opportunity to share large files as well. So with Dropbox, it's pretty easy. I can't go into a full tutorial here, obviously, but all of these big sites like, Google Drive, Dropbox, even Zoho One with WorkDrive, you can find mass amounts of tutorials online if you have questions on how some of these processes work. But it's really easy with with Dropbox, I should say. You can create a new file, you can upload files, you can, of course, have people share files with you, and this is a really super neat utility to use. Another thing that I want to show you is I personally use a product called Camtasia. Camtasia is essentially, it's like an all-in-one screen recorder and video editor. So seeing that many people are going to be working from home for a while, you want to make sure that if there's any types of pertinent processes that you need to document for your staff or even for yourself, for others, Camtasia is a really, really great resource. And right now they're actually offering a 30-day free trial of Camtasia. I will make sure to send that information to everyone, but Camtasia is really great to record your screen, to create really professional quality videos that can be very helpful for those of you who may be working remotely. Next, and this is really specifically geared toward RollMaster users, we want to just stress the importance of making sure that you install the program and where you can do that and how you can find info on that. So RollMaster can be installed using a unique web-based link. This is essentially what you would get. Some of you may have seen this before, but it would come to you in the form of an email. And the link can just simply be accessed by clicking on this hyperlink up here towards the top. And from there, you would just go ahead and install RollMaster onto your computer. Go ahead and contact your administrator at your company if you need any help obtaining the installation link. You can also email support@rmaster.com. We do have a video tutorial specific to installing RollMaster, so go ahead and visit our help site at help.rmaster.com for information on how to install the program. One thing that I would like to mention before we conclude this webinar is we have, of course, our help site. Now, the RollMaster help site, we're adding on to it every day. We're trying to build it up to be the best that it can be. But you can come into our help site at any time and you can search through our knowledge base. You can view any of the popular articles. We have videos on here. We have tutorials. You can even submit a ticket to our support department from directly from our help site. So we want to make sure that everybody knows that this is available for all of you. If you have never used our help site, please feel free to visit help.rmaster.com, where again you can browse our knowledge base. And here at RollMaster, we want nothing more than to be able to help you, and we just want to make sure that you all know that we're here for you, and we look very much forward to growing in our business relationship with all of our customers. So again, please visit help.rmaster.com and go ahead and create an account on there if you haven't done so already. With that being said, that's really about all that I have today in terms of working from home, and hopefully you may have found some of these suggestions helpful. Hopefully this has helped some of you, and we look forward to chatting with all of you again very soon. Thanks so much. Take care, everyone.